There is a simply massive uprising against the introduction of new ULEZ expansion of the area covered happening this week. Are you affected? Should you worry? There are violent disagreements as to whether or not they work. A new study just released claims it has proved conclusively that they don't work and that the figures the mayor used were, well, let's say, generous to his argument. So, why are they essential if they don't work? Dave Takes It On looks much deeper into this and discovered there is much more to this than most people realise. We are actually protesting about the wrong thing. Now, ULEZ has been in force in inner London since April 2019, and the Mayor, Sadiq Khan, claims it is vital for the health of residents and has reduced air pollution from fumes, chemicals, PM 2.5 particles, thereby saving lives. He is right. Others claim they're useless, barely make a difference, and directly and disproportionately attack the poor. They are right too. Well, now the mayor has won a court case and will extend the area covered massively. Is he right? Well, in my opinion, yes. So what is going on? Well, the problem is the question's wrong. Now, you know I love my analogies. So here's mine for the subject of ULEZ so we can understand them better. There has been a huge rise in the cost of living and people are really struggling. Now, I don't think many people will disagree with that statement. Mortgages are up hundreds of pounds a month, energy bills have almost trebled, food bills are rising rapidly. Well, so far so good. So the answer then is to cut out takeaways and dining out. Wow, I bet that gets a response. Well, in difficult times, we do need to cut back on non-essentials, and takeaways and dining out are clear luxuries. They have to go. So if we cut them out, will we be able to afford our higher bills? Will that work? Well, clearly not. Most people do not spend well over £1,000 a month on takeaways and dining out. And even if they did, they would still have to buy food somewhere else, just not at the local takeaway or restaurant. You can't just stop eating. So what is the answer? How can we afford to live with these massive rises in bills? Well, the answer is really obvious. It's something we've been doing for far too long. We cut back on everything that we can that is not essential to living. We lower central heating thermostats, switch off lights and standby devices. We go and shop at Aldi or Lidl and buy the bargains. Cut down non-essential journeys, postpone changing the car. Take cheaper holidays or none at all. Shop around for cheaper insurance, get a part-time job. The list is almost endless. And that is why the question is so wrong. What is the answer? There isn't a single answer. No single thing on that list for the average person will give them sufficient savings to be able to pay the huge increases that have been forced upon them. We need to do a lot of things that in total add up to the savings we need to survive. So the question, will ULEZ produce cleaner air and save 50,000 lives a year, is wrong. Obviously it can't, because that pollution comes from a variety of different sources. Some comes from cars. Now, the actual percentage here is irrelevant. Don't get bogged down with that argument. Some comes from central heating boilers, some from lorries, some from factories, some from offices, some from government, some from private sector, some from cows, some from chickens. The pollution is produced everywhere and cannot be stopped in a single day with a single gesture or law. That would cause the total collapse of our economy. We need to rephrase the initial question and ask others in our search for the answer. Will introducing ULEZs and extending them give us totally clean, pollution-free, healthy air? Well, obviously not, no. Will shutting down factories give us clean, healthy air? No. Will banning gas-fired central heating boilers in 2035 result in clean, healthy air? No. The truth is, we need to do all of these and much more. A little, or hopefully, a lot of everything. We need central heating. Without it, thousands will die each winter. We need factories. Without them, we'll have less jobs and products that we need. We need lorries to deliver our fresh food to the shops. Without them, we can't eat. Well, back to this study. A group of very highly qualified and experienced people have concluded that extending the ULEZ will only save a tiny fraction of the pollution in the air that we breathe. I totally agree. I also accept that the mayor may have been a bit generous in his conclusions from his own biased sources. But go and stand at a set of traffic lights at a busy junction in rush hour in a city centre. Can you see, taste and smell the pollution? Yes, you can. It's overpowering. It stinks. Would you sit in your petrol car in your garage with the doors closed and the engine running? No, of course not. Would you see, taste and smell the fumes if all the cars, every single one, at the same traffic lights in rush hour was electric? Well, no, there would be none at all. So should we ban all petrol and diesel cars today? No, that's not possible. Well, regular viewers will know I'm not a lover of governments. Why are they doing this? Why introduce ULEZ and take it out on the poor motorist? Unfortunately, that image is totally wrong. All governments around the world, even China, Brazil, Nigeria, now accept that air pollution is killing us. It is not good, and it's actually getting worse. So, hate mail on its way. That is why our government, amongst all others, is not just picking on the poor motorists. They have done far, far more. Well, nowhere near enough, of course, but that is why they've imposed carbon dioxide limits on manufacturers, why new homes are better insulated and now must have some form of renewable energy, why cars now do produce far less pollution than before, why sustainable farming is emerging, why we are shutting down our coal-fired power stations, why we're operating recycling centres and collections. Again, this list is almost endless. Should we do all this and much more? Well, yes, absolutely. Should we introduce ULEZ? Yes, absolutely. Do they hit the poor disproportionately? No, in fact, that's a total myth. The opposite is true. The really poor don't have cars. They can't afford them. They travel on buses, the underground, cycling and walking. Ironically, they would gain the most by getting all of us richer people, including you and me, to get rid of those older, seriously polluting petrol cars made before 2006 and those smelly diesel cars made before 2015. And by the way, just how many are there? The average lifespan of an ICE car is reported by the RAC to be about 12 years when scrapped. All the petrol ones are already long overdue, and the diesel ones are getting really close anyway. To quote a now famous motto, every little helps. Thanks for watching to the end. If you've enjoyed this video or found it interesting, please subscribe so that you can be notified when we launch new ones. Also, please consider supporting us financially with Patreon membership. Details below. I'm Dave.